I'm in the greenhouse having brought out my seedlings to try and take some advantage of some very early sunshine, and very nice it is too. I've been growing my own salad veg, tomatoes, courgettes, lettuce, cucumbers, etc. for the last 10 to 15 years. And one of the problems I occasionally suffer from is leggy seedlings, you know, where they get too tall and all wobbly. Now, I've done all the usual things. I've put my trays of seedlings once they've germinated on the kitchen window ledge or maybe in the conservatory, but there's never quite enough light, so they end up going towards the light. You turn them round and go the other way, and before you know it, they're like bean poles. So how to avoid that? Well, the obvious solution is to maybe buy some grow lights. So I thought about that in the last couple of years and, you know, had a look at them and thought, no, and put it to one side. And once you get through to April, May, you don't need grow lights because you've got plenty of light, especially if you're lucky enough, like me, to have a greenhouse. But this year I thought, no, I'll have a proper look at buying some grow lights. Well, in doing my research, I've watched quite a few YouTube videos, and there are quite a few people saying, no, you don't need grow lights. All you need is something like a standard LED light. I thought, that's interesting, especially given I've got an LED panel light kicking around doing nothing. So let's go back into the garage, because it's quite bright in here, and I'll show you what I've been doing and some of the early results. So what is this? Well, this is my first attempt at creating my own grow lights about 7 or 8 years ago. So what is it? Well, it's a box constructed from bits of leftover kitchen cabinet when we had the kitchen remodeled, roughly about 55 centimeters by 50. I sized it to be capable of holding basically 2 normal trays or a combination of large and small, and hopefully you can see what runs around the inside walls, which have all been painted white, are 2 strips of LED lighting, which if I switch them on you get an idea. And of course the idea of the white painted surfaces is to reflect the light, and I also went to the trouble of creating a lid painted white again. Let's get it the right way around to go on like so. My own patented light growing box. The only problem is it didn't work very well. And why is that? Well, probably because the amount of light in the box just was totally insufficient. So I just struggled again, still got leggy seedlings. In fact, it was probably actually worse than putting them on the kitchen window ledge, but no harm in trying. So it's been sat in the shed for the better part of, as I say, about 7 years. Again, another thing that I thought, well, I can use it for is germinating my seeds, because again it was sized to get roughly 2 germination mats in. I only had one at the time I made it, but I've since bought a second one. So there was some thought gone into it. The only thing I didn't think about was the lighting. So what to do? Well, if you're a regular viewer to the channel, and if not, why not, please do subscribe. You'll have seen this 40 watt 60 by 60 LED panel in a variety of different videos. Without doing too much research, just by looking at it, I can see that there's an awful lot more light output from the panel than there is from my double row of LEDs. So, as if by magic, it turns out it's almost, not quite, but almost a perfect fit for my garden light box. So, is it worth doing an experiment with either just this or this and the double row of LEDs and see what difference that makes to my seedling growth? Of course it's worth doing an experiment. So this is what I did. Rather than just bunging my precious seedlings into here, switching the lights on and hoping for the best, it's worth understanding a little bit of what's going on. So the important thing is what's known as photosynthetically active radiation. That's the spectrum of light that really helps plants photosynthesize and thus grow. Now, the range of light in the light spectrum is roughly between 400 to 700 nanometers. Now, we don't need to go into the absolute details of this, but there are some quite interesting articles online, also some YouTube videos that you can have a look at if you want to. But the main thing is, what level of PAR have we got inside the box? So, how do we measure that? Well, we could go out and buy a PAR meter. There's plenty of those available. Or me, being a cheapskate, I thought, well, what about an app on the phone? Now, an app on the phone is never going to give you the same quality and accuracy as perhaps a PAR meter will do. But it should give an indication, and it'll give me a comparative reading between the two strips of LEDs and the LED panel. And that should hopefully give me enough information to decide whether it's worth putting my little babies in here or not. When I say babies, I mean my seedlings, nothing else. Okay, let's get the iPhone app up and running and I'll take some readings. Now, the app I'm going to be using is called Photon, which I downloaded from the App Store. It's a free download and comes with certain capabilities already enabled, like measuring light levels. But to measure PAR, I had to stump up some money. I think it was $5.99 to enable the PAR capability. So in order to use the app, you need to have a diffuser over the camera lens. So this is just a simple piece of greaseproof paper. Nothing highly scientific about it, but I've used this in the past when measuring lux levels and it gives a reasonable result. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go outside and see what the PAR readings are on a nice, bright, sunny, early spring morning. So with the phone pointing directly at the sun, we're getting a reading of anywhere from 17,000, 18,000, 19,000, thereabouts, depending on the angle, exact orientation of the phone. But it gives you an idea of the level. Let's go down to the bottom of the garden. And I'll just put it on this bench here. So 1800 or thereabouts. Okay, for consistency, I'm going to use the LED panel on the top, in both cases, rather than my wooden painted panel, and start off with just a double row of LEDs. So I've got my phone on screen recording, so I'm going to start off and put it in at the rear left corner, and I'll switch them on, and I'm going to go around in turn each of the corners, so left, right, front left, and then the center. So each time I'm letting the light stabilize, because I've been opening and closing this flap, probably won't make a huge amount of difference. Okay, I'll take that out. I'll switch the LED strips off and I'll put the main panel on now. So again, rear left corner first. I think at this point I'm not going to put both lights on because it's plainly apparent to me that there's a huge amount of light coming from the panel here compared to the two LED strips. So we'll stop the tests there and I'll have a look at the screen recordings. Okay, I've finished measuring the PAR levels. Let's take that off. Very interesting. So what I'll do is I'll put them on a slide to show you the variation in the different places. But just as a simple average, so just with the double strip of LEDs, I've got an average of 184. I can't remember the units offhand, but I'll put those on the screen. So 184. With the panel alone, I got an average of 1,422. So a factor of more than 7.5 times the amount of PAR from this panel compared to the two simple strips of LEDs, which I think speaks volumes and probably explains why when I first tried this all those years ago, it wasn't successful. Now, How does that compare with the outside? Well, pretty good, I would have thought. I mean, yes, it's not the same as being in direct sunlight, but you don't really want your seedlings in beaming direct sunlight. So I think with a figure, what was it, 1,422, I think that's pretty good. So certainly worthy of an experiment with this year's seedlings, which is what I did. So back in the greenhouse, let's have a look at the various sowings. So starting off with the tomatoes, this small tray here, this first batch was sown on the 1st of February. So it's the 3rd of March today, so pretty much about 4 weeks since these were sowed. Very pleased with these. What are they? About 8 there. Not too leggy at all. Moving on then to the second batch, sowed 16th of February. Yeah, again, not too leggy, certainly compared to what I've seen in the past. So they're literally about 2 weeks since sowing. Sweet peppers, not as good germination rate with my sweet peppers, but putting that aside, at this stage, certainly not too leggy. I mean, that one's certainly going for it, but yeah, okay. Then on the lettuce, I've got 2 varieties of lettuce, so that's winter density. Again, I've seen a lot worse in previous years. How old are they? They were sown 16th of February, so again, just over 2 weeks ago. And the Paris White Cos, yeah, they're definitely a little bit more leggy, but not drastically so. And it's difficult for me to show you what I've had from previous years because I didn't have the foresight to video or photograph them. But I can assure you that these are nowhere near as leggy than I've seen in the past. So what have I been doing? I've had them in the grow box and I've had the lights coming on to follow sunrise and sunset schedule. And overall, I'm pretty pleased. Obviously, I couldn't get all of these in at the same time, so I've had to rotate them, which possibly explains why in some cases, particularly the lettuce, are slightly leggy, but not too bad. But overall, I'm very pleased with it, and certainly I think this, for me, backs up the claims made by other YouTubers that say you don't need grow lights. A standard commercial LED light will satisfy what you need. Now, is this a highly controlled scientific trial? Well, obviously not. It's just what I've put together. But for me, I think it proves the case that a standard commercial LED light, whether it's a panel like I've used or maybe a Batten, that would equally do, I think. It gives you sufficient PAR to actually get some decent healthy seedlings that aren't too leggy. And certainly I'll be trying this again next time. Well, I hope you found this of some interest. It's certainly been a learning exercise for me. Right, I think I'll call this one done. Thanks very much for watching. If you thought it was any good, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, click that button, and also subscribe. It really does help me drive the channel forwards. So thanks very much for that. Right then, hopefully I will see you on the next one. Cheers.